Fury Wilder 2 fight week. We are all fired up for this heavyweight clash. A man who will be on the call, part of the broadcast team from the ESPN side, Timothy Bradley Jr., former two-division champion, former badass. No, stop me, say current badass.
No, former badass. I'm retired now, man. Yeah, I picked up the mic, just like what you're doing right now, man.
I'm loving your analyst work. Do you ever get that itch? So you have to still get the itch.
No. Just being around boxing, honestly, it kind of kills and calms that itch. If I wasn't around it and if I wasn't doing this job, I'm sure I would have that itch to come back in the ring.
Anyone ever call you out? Anyone ever call you and say, hey, man, how many millions would it take?
Man, nobody called me out. Come on, man. They don't want to see the Desert Storm, baby.
Somebody get Ruslan up in the bullpen. Another classic fight. All right.
Ruslan is sitting at home getting fat, too, so I ain't worried about Ruslan.
All right, you were part of some of the biggest fights we've had over the welterweight, the sexy division when you fought Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. I always wanted to see against Floyd. We didn't see that.
Me too. I wanted to fight Floyd, but I've been in 4 pay-per-views. I know what these guys are going through. These guys are sick of answering all these same questions over and over. They just want to get it on. They're just very anxious at this very moment. And, they're expending a lot of energy right now, doing all these interviews and kind of promoting this fight, man.
I'm going to go out on the limb and say this is the most amount of interviews I've ever seen 2 pay-per-view main eventers do. I feel like every channel, every possible second,
that's right.
You were in big fights. The Marquez pay-per-view, by the way, hidden classic right there, when you had a different style. How does that weigh on you when you're given now that much?
It's frustrating, it becomes mentally draining, it becomes annoying. It's monotonous, man, but, you have to do it. It's part of your contract. You got to fulfill your obligations as far as the media. You have to do that. This is the way you sell a fight. If you sell a fight and you push the fight, the more money you're going to make at the end of the day. So it's a give and take, man. It's a give and take thing, but, you just got to stay relaxed. That's the thing. That's the key. The more relaxed you are during this whole process, the more calm, cool, and collected you are, the more easier it's going to be able to deal and go through it.
All right, you were part of some big fights like we mentioned. This fight is unique because you're bringing together 2 major networks. Promoters, managers, yes. Bob and Al, they don't usually get along. They're getting along for this one. Does that get you excited about the future, about what this means?
Yes, it should get everybody in the boxing world, non-boxing fans. If you don't like boxing because you don't see number 1 versus number 2, you should get them all happy because we are putting it together, man. I thought it was going to be a little rough around the edges. I wasn't on the phone calls in the beginning. I'm sure it was rough, but right now, man, I'm not going to lie to you. It feels like family. It feels like we worked together for years. Everybody here, Fox, ESPN, everybody is so professional and so calm, and they know what they're doing. And everybody's doing their job at their very best, and, I'm enjoying it, man. I've enjoyed this course so far, and I can't wait till Saturday night, because I want to know who's going to win this championship fight, man.
Well, I think, the knee-jerk reaction would be, well, if this fight does well, and if they do it a 3rd time, man, what would stop Crawford, Spence? What would stop the dream matchup? Yeah. Could we be on the verge of a new era where there's no such thing as 2 sides of the street?
Well, if it generates what they feel and hope it generates, absolutely. Yes, you know what I mean? The green always changed the mindsets of everybody. So, the Earl Spence Terence Crawford fight probably could be a year away from now, depending on when Earl Spence is going to come back and fight somebody, and then, possibly decide on if he's going to fight Terence Crawford or not. But you know what? Both sides of the street, we met in the middle. So that's good. That's good for boxing. So that means that it can happen. There's no more excuses out there. You see what's happening right now. There's no more excuses. Make it happen.
Everybody can eat. You used to eat a lot between fights. You used to blow up big. Yep. Your dad get all kinds of mad. Yep. Now I feel like, what are you doing, CrossFit? What's going on?
No, man, no. It's all about eating. It took me a long time to really realize, you don't necessarily have to exercise unless you want to. I mean, you feel good. You feel great exercising. You got to get the cardio in there. But it's just all about eating right. If you change your eating habits, I promise you will lean out. You ain't got to move a muscle. So just eat your fruits and vegetables, tons of it, lean meat and protein, and you good. You're going to be all right.
What is your dad doing to fill time? Because he used to get up in your air. He used to be he'd be like, what do I smell on your breath? We remember that stuff. Who's he firing up these days?
My dad is just calm, cool, collected. My dad is just staying in shape. He dropped about 60 pounds. He's lean and mean. He's weighing about Deontay Wilder's weight. Deontay Wilder's weighing kind of heavy right now. I heard about 220, maybe 230. But he's about 209 right now. This guy's a freak. He's doing I did 1,500 push-ups today. I did 1,500 sit-ups. I walked for about 4 hours uphill, in snow. I'm like, Dad, man, why are you doing this? What are you getting ready for? Man, just in case. Just in case one of them kids at the school try to test me, I'm ready.
The best interview you ever gave about your father was when you were so open after the Ruslan Provodnikov fight and the damage you took, and you were told, Max Kellerman, this is my dad's fault. I told him, Dad, this is your fault that I fight like this.
That's right. My dad, there was no limit. He goes, there's no limit to success. You got to push past the pain. That's what my dad was. All those things he used to say to me, man, was just to motivate me. And then eventually I learned how to motivate myself and how to put myself in my opponent's position and say, like, you ain't outworking me. I'm going to outwork you. When I'm out there running on long runs, it's like, okay, I'm going to do 6 miles a day. No, I'm going to do 8. I hit to that 6-mile range, and I'm like, no, I'm going to do 2 more miles. And I'm going to push past my opponent and what he's doing.
I hear you a lot on the ESPN broadcast saying your opinion. Terence Crawford, best welterweight today. Terence Crawford, best fighter in the sport today. And I always feel like it goes back to that original sparring session you had. Can you remind us what you saw in young Bud that got you on that train early?
What y'all see now. Honestly, what y'all see now is what I saw in the sparring session, man. He got that dog in him. You saw in the last fight now. We was expecting him to box against a big puncher. You know what I mean? He stepped to the puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's courageous like that. He has the heart. He has the mindset. The harder you push Terence Crawford, the harder he's going to fight. And plus, he can switch hit. He can do anything. Fight off the back foot, counter punch. He can come forward and maul you in the inside. He's tall, he's long, he's rangy, and he's confident in his ability. He's the best fighter on the planet, I believe. I believe he beats anybody, any weight class. You take his style up to heavyweight, any weight class in the world, and he'll beat him.
You mean move up and fight Canelo? Hey, let's make it happen.
Well, if he was to move up that high, I don't know about that. Canelo's a big guy, but I'm just saying if he was to take his style, if he had that weight behind him, I think he'll beat Canelo. No doubt.
Would prime Tim Bradley get up in that ass, though? You make it a dogfight.
TC, you know what time it is, baby. You know what I bring. Hey, I love TC, man.
He's got a backbone. He's got a backbone.
No. But remember in that sparring session, man, it just felt like the harder I went, the harder and smarter he fought. I didn't realize that he was a right-hander, that he was orthodox. I thought he was a natural southpaw because he did it so well. I learned a lot. He learned a lot. And became really good friends after that. And, we had 2 camps together. It wasn't just one. It was 2 camps together. And I could just see the growth in him. And I was able to mentor him and tell him, like, hey, man, like, you can be your own enemy, honestly. You know what I mean? I heard he was getting in some trouble back then, and I was just like, no, I got him. I'll talk to him. I'm like, dude, you're not a sparring partner. You're a world champion. Like, your skill set, man, you're going to be #1 pound for pound in the game. I promise you that. No, I promise you that, because his IQ, his ring IQ, how smart he is, how slick he is. He was tough to deal with, my friend. Tough to deal with. And, you see guys right now. How many knockouts is that so far? I mean, he's knocked out just about everybody since when? Wow. Postal, I believe.
And he dropped him a ton of times, too.
Yeah, so I think he's the baddest man on the planet. And I think that everybody at home knows why.
All right, let's close this. Let's bring it on home. Wilder Fury II, Saturday. What is the one sort of storyline about this fight that the casual mainstream media is not getting? How will this fight look different from the first fight? What's a secret thing you're keeping inside to look out for?
No, honestly, I don't think the fight's going to be super different. I honestly don't. One thing they said in the fighter meetings is that they weren't 100% the first time around. And when you're not 100%, you don't put on your best performance. This time around, no one has an excuse that we know of right now. No one has an excuse. Deontay Wilder said he hurt his right hand in the first fight. Then you had Tyson Fury saying that, hey, I was up in Big Bear. I hated it. I couldn't breathe. I needed to come back down to sea level. I had the worst camp ever. It wasn't right. You know what I mean? And he's saying that I came back, Tim, off of 2 tune-up fights, and I fought the baddest man supposedly at heavyweight, and I beat him, and I didn't get the decision. Now, it's been 2 years. I've had 2 fights. I felt I did great. I'm in the best shape of my life. How the hell is he going to beat me now? And I sat back and I said, my decision started teetering after that. Both these guys, I look at everything. because everything's a battle, mental battle. So I look at the press conference we had. I thought Wilder won that. Wilder won that press conference. I mean, he really dug in. It was personal. He went low, but he dug into Tyson Fury. He brought up some background stuff that really I could see the wheels turning. Then in the fighter meeting, Fury was so together. He was so calm, cool, collected. Like, he knew exactly what he needs to do this time around and what he needs to be. And so right now it's 1-1. Now the weigh-ins is coming up. Now I want to see. But I heard that we're not getting a dang face-off.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Come on, man. This is a championship fight. I want to see these guys face off again. Have security nearby. But those are ways to see who has the mental edge going into the fight. Right now, it's a draw 1-1. If I had to face off, I can tell you who win those battles outside of the ring. And then we're going to see who's going to win the battle inside the ring. But my pick is I'm picking Deontay Wilder. I'm picking Deontay Wilder, man. You know what I mean? It's because I know what it's like, and I know what it takes to be focused for 36 minutes without making a mistake. Fury has to worry about Wilder more than Wilder has to worry about Fury, in my opinion, because Wilder has that power, man. Unbelievable God-given power.
I thought you were going to say skills pay the bills, like when you disarmed the great Juan Manuel Marquez.
I mean, skills do pay the bills, and I'm going against the grain here. I just feel that Fury can't stay concentrated for 36 minutes. He said, ladies and gentlemen, that in the first fight, he got complacent. He got bored. I mean, what do you mean you got bored? I got bored. I got complacent. It was too easy. It might be that way again this time around, and then boom. Lights out.
You take a deep breath, you rest, you do anything wrong, you make one mistake, and the fight's over.
You sit still just a little bit too long for just a second, and it could be lights out. And the crazy part, the cold part about this is that we always say, oh, it's the punch that if you don't see is the ones that typically hurt you. You can see a Deontay Wilder's punch coming through. You can see it come. And when it hits you, it still hurts you. That's devastating punching power. I've never seen anything like it. And I can't wait to see who's going to win this fight, man. But that's my pick, baby.
Get this guy a podcast, get him his own TV show. He's a fantastic analyst and a soon-to-be one-day Hall of Fame fighter. And believe that. Believe that.
One day.
Believe that.
One day.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, they got some good ones that came before me, but that's all right. I know I'll get in there someday, baby. I fought the best guys in my era, man, when I was coming up. I feel Juan Manuel Marquez, whether you want to give me the Pac-out win or not, I fought him as well.
Junior Witter, brother. Junior Witter.
I went over to England to take out Junior Witter, baby, in his hometown, on his soil. Took him out when I was, I guess they said I wasn't proven yet at that time, and I showed that I was. And then I came back. I fought one title defense, and then I fought a unification. What are you champions waiting on?
Oh, and then he walked through hell against Ruslan, all right?
Let's unify belts, baby. Let's see who's the #1 guy in each weight class, baby. And that's going to make the sport better. That's going to make your pockets better. And that's going to make the fans tune in even more.
Wow. We'll see you at WrestleMania. That's a wrestling-worthy promo right there. Enjoy yourself in the fight, Tim Bradley.
Thank you. Appreciate you.